You want to edit and improve the script, because that's essentially what makes it win, is the copy and the script, not so much the video on the first draft. So take some time, sit down, edit and improve it, make it more concise, cut down the wording, make it more simple, and make sure that every sentence is conveying one big idea. Then you get a real spokesperson or actor, if you have not done this already, for your first draft, and you reproduce the entire ad. You want to spend 5 times the time editing the script and revising the video. So when your editor sends it back to you, revise it, take the time to go through it and make every scene as powerful as possible. Go through scene by scene. Every single scene should have a purpose. Next is to write a new VSL. So now we're moving a little bit away from what's most proven in that first round of product tests, right? Because we're doing optimization now. We want to optimize what's working. That's the biggest thing. So then after you've optimized the current script, you want to write a new one. Take a new angle, go for a new structure, make it longer, whatever it is. In that new angle, you'll notice some hooks or leads or advertorials calling out a specific market or a specific version of the problem are going to work extraordinarily well. You can craft an entire VSL and a new funnel around that angle. Next is that you want to test hooks. So when you're testing hooks, I like to do a combination of longer and shorter hooks. That way I can combine the leads into my hooks to make them that much more congruent. Because remember, the drop-off in viewership happens when there's transitions between the hook and the lead and the VSL. So to get rid of that, you want everything to be one cohesive whole. So some of the hooks I write are 3 to 5 sentences, sometimes longer. These are for usually around 5-minute mini VSLs for ecom products. We want to make them congruent with the start of the VSL. So when I'm writing my hooks, I have the VSL script pulled up in a separate tab so that I can see, does this final sentence of the hook flow to the first sentence of the VSL where it seems like it's one unbroken whole? Or does it seem like I'm finishing one idea and starting a new one? We don't want that. Then we want to put a lot more time into the scene selection when it comes to the hook. So when your editors send you your hooks, put a lot more time into what does the first scene look like? Okay, we don't want people in the first scene, or if we have people, we want a split screen where it's some kind of 3D animation on the other side. So take a look at some of the bigger ecom brands in the space doing these direct response VSLs. How do they structure their hooks? You'll notice most of the time there's some kind of 3D animation of the problem mechanism that's very unique and very engaging, or at the very least a split screen where it shows the 3D animation and someone using the product. Next is that we want to mess with the advertorial. We want to improve the key leverage points in the advertorial. So the two main things are the above the fold and the entire design of it. So you can take the entire advertorial, all the copy you have, and put it into an entirely different design. So take a different, someone else's advertorial that's very successful and just fill it in with your copy. And it should be a big difference between what you have now, or else it's not worth testing. And then the bigger test is the above the fold. So new headlines, hero images, and subheads. Make sure they're congruent with one another and congruent with the VSL. And for the hero image, you can do either like a native style or affiliate style bridge page where it's a split screen with some weird 3D graphic or 2D vector image and the problem or the product, or you can do some kind of a GIF. These are both very common for e-commerce. And the headline should be very concise, unique, and focused, laser focused on one big idea. So that the language should be very crisp and short and open some kind of loop and promise some kind of useful information. Next is upsells. So we want to add more profit per order to our funnel, right? That's how we raise our ROAS. How can we do that without changing anything in our ads or our funnel? Is by adding upsells. So the upsell number 1 is the most important. You can either do a copy-based or like a text-based or a VSL-based upsell. I suggest if you're just starting adding, 3 or 4 upsells and you only have maybe 1 or 2, start with copy and then start with text and then upgrade it to a VSL, because the biggest brands in the e-com direct response space do VSL upsells, and that's how they're able to boost their average order value 50 to 100% on the front end, which is very powerful for your ROAS. It'll allow you to double your scale because it doubles your profit. Next is keep in mind that you want to select high margin products for your upsell. So they're light, they're small, low shipping cost, and they're congruent with the front end product. They're complementary. So they're solving the same problem or they enhance the function of the main product. Next is you want to set up retargeting. So there's two ways to go about this in the beginning that are the highest leverage: images and videos. So for the videos, what works really well is these old school dropshipping style benefit focused short videos where you're showing rapid fire images of the product, visuals of the product, UGC content, and you're just laying out the benefits of the product because they're already problem aware, they're already solution aware. Now we want to give them more reasons to buy. And then even deeper in the funnel will be your image ads for retargeting. Typically, these will be offer focused. So we'll talk about social proof. We'll have some kind of Facebook comment review or Amazon review alongside the product hero image. And then another type of image that goes a little bit higher up in your retargeting funnel is Amazon review style photos. So they look like native images that someone just took on their phone that a customer would take, and they're somewhat low quality. They're not production quality brand images. They look more like a customer took it. So these are also very, very effective. And that is it in terms of upgrading your funnel. These are some of the highest leverage, little things that you can do that I recommend you do. As soon as you get some validation of the product, you're at least break even or profitable after a week or two of spend, after spending a couple $1,000s. Then you go in and you make these optimizations to take it to the next level to be able to scale, because you need that margin, you need that buffer room in your margin, and you need that high ROAS in order to double, quintuple your ad spend within a few weeks. And then if your margin is strong and it's consistent, you implemented all these things, your AOV is higher, your profit per order is higher, you can definitely scale and be much more sustainable at scale and not have so much fluctuation. There are other things you can do like Google Ads, email and SMS flows, but these are the basics to improve the front end profitability. So the funnel and the VSL, that's essentially what we want to do here. This means higher conversion rates, lower CPMs and CPCs. That's not super important. It really just matters how much are you paying to get a conversion. So it's the CPA and the ROAS that really matter. And these are all things that affect that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm happy to help out. And otherwise, have a great day. Pow, pow, pow. Peace out.